Communication intercepts and reconnaissance flights have located the primary enemy command and control center for the region. The command center is located between Kutaisi and Zugdidi air bases just outside of Basha. Strike assets have been tasked to eliminate this command and control center. The strike will require both air defense suppression and fighter escort. We will escort Su-24 Strike Flight 801. Su-24 Air Defense Suppression Flight 106 will suppress the enemy air defenses. Both flights have departed from Mineralny Vody and will rendezvous with us over Malchik. Welcome back aboard my MiG-21 for Mission 5 of the Over the Hump campaign. Today we are indeed going over the hump, as it were, escorting a strike package that's going to be hitting an enemy command post. Now, they're already in the air, so I'm going to jump into the startup procedures so that we can rendezvous with them and probably push out ahead some. So, battery, DC generator on, fire extinguisher on, radio and flight recorder on. I will request startup clearance just for the sake of completeness. And fuel pumps. Fire extinguisher, crack the throttle, hit the starter. And throttle back to idle. Gyros and AC generator on, all right-hand circuit breakers on. Whoops, with the exception of the gun camera. We pretty much know this whole song and dance by now. And radar to standby. IFF and RWR on, Pitot heat on, align KPP, gun sight on, and caged. Shut the canopy, arm weapons, stick it in radar missile mode for now, seal canopy, gear handle fixator off, flare button cover off, flap set for takeoff, nav radio set. Now, we are going to fly the 240 radial outbound for 50 kilometers, and that should be roughly where we'll rendezvous with the strike package. I'm not tremendously bothered with going in exactly alongside them. I would rather go in ahead of them so I can sweep the sky of enemy fighters in front of them. But, anyway, ready to taxi. Whenever you feel like it. There we go. Runway 6, per usual. So that's no big surprise. And we'll hang a left. And taxi to the runway in the same old style. Okie dokie, coming up to the hold short point for runway 06, we will ask for takeoff clearance, пожалуйста. Взлет. And there's our clearance. Let's get out of here. Line up. Get nice and straight. Lock the nose wheel. And off we go. And he does his whole routine about unable to clear the takeoff and clear the takeoff again. Not sure why it does that, but DCS airfield ATC still leaves a little bit to be desired. Anyway, up we go. Positive rate of climb, gear up. And that's 3 red. We'll return the gear handle to the neutral position, bring the flaps up. And airspeed's building rapidly up 600. I'll pull us out of burner. Fuel conservation is going to be the name of the game. This flight, I am going to make the transit south at fairly high altitude, I think. And be mindful of my speed to try and conserve as much fuel as possible. Form up with the strike package for escort. Yep. So like I said, I'll track the 240 radial outbound for 50, which should intersect with their flight path. If I bump into them, great. If not, I'm not too bothered because I want to push out ahead of them anyway. So, we just passed over that point 50 kilometers out on the 240 radial from Nalchik, and it brought us left to a heading of 187, which should take us direct to the target area. Based on the radio callouts, the package that we're escorting are behind us there somewhere, which suits me just fine because I would rather take a more proactive role than do close escort, because it should, in principle, if it works, keep the enemy fighters at arm's reach so that our strike package don't have to worry. So that's what we'll do. We'll see how it works. I think it worked pretty well in Mission 2. Alright, my wingmen are calling out spikes, and AWACS is starting to call out enemy contacts. Now they're pretty low, which puts me in a bit of a conundrum, because they'll probably climb to meet us to a degree, but I'll probably have to drop down to pick them up on radar. Because you basically have to be co-alt or below to reliably pick up targets with the Sapphire radar and the MiG-21. So, might end up doing that. Still have plenty of fuel on board. I don't know. I'll ask for another bogey dope and see if they're, if the enemy are climbing to meet us. Okay, it appears they are to a degree, so I'm gonna put the nose down and start losing altitude a little bit, so that we can get a little bit better setup for a potential head-on pass. Although, there may be an advantage to be had in diving on the enemy too, it's hard to say, but I don't think we're very likely to spot them from above, unless they're above the clouds, which so far they're not. So we'll see. I won't energize my radar just yet, but pretty soon. Okay, 1901 for 40 at 2000. I want to be getting set up to actually detect that. So I will drop my altitude, I'll have flight, engage bandits at will. And I think I see a spec. And I have him on radar. IFF is hostile. Alright, I'm gonna push it up. And I'm gonna try to engage him in a head-on pass with a radar-guided missile. Got him locked. Range is unwinding quite rapidly. Looking good, looking good. I have tone. There's the shoot cue. Pierve, pust rakete. Does it connect in a head-on pass? Of course not, because I never have. Alright, tally F4. And where's he gone? I always lose sight straight off the bat. There he is. And we're into a purple. There he is. Pust rakete. Gonna shoot a heater at him. And got him. Splash Phantom. And my centerline tank is empty. I'm gonna drop it. Alright. Get my bearings here. I see something over there. Let's have a look. Alright, radar contact. IFF is bandit. Lock my radar into fixed beam. I'll see if I can shoot a radar missile at him. Pust rakete. Ooh, that's a MiG-21. Okay, break the lock. We got two of them in close quarters there, and the radar only picked up one. Okay, someone was just saved by the poor quality of the R3R. Actually, no, that was a bandit, and now a friendly shooting at him. And he got him. Well, all's well that ends well. Anyway, I've only got the one heater left, so I'll make sure that's selected. Hey, Wax, what do we got? What's this? That looks kind of fat. Could be a phantom. Or not. That's closest enemy is 240 for 60. In which case I will head that way. Yeah, all these radar contacts are friendly, so that should be my flight. Alright, 240 for 60. I'll head that way. What about this guy? Also friendly. Alright. Well, I'll just climb a bit so that we're definitely out of range of any sort of shore-ad systems that might be down there, which is definitely a concern. Contact 201 for 40. That's pretty close. What do we got? Yeah, 203 for 40. I think that's going to be our closest contact. So I will commit on that bearing. 202 for 35 at 500. Okay, well that's... I'm not going to pick that up on radar. I might just have to take the risk down low. Although if I only have a heater, setting up a reciprocal force attack isn't actually that important. Okay, we've got 2 bandits up there. I'll make sure my flight are engaging. And tally, I think. I see some specks over there. Or is that just a large building? Oh, no. Yeah, I see them. Alright, the seed package has killed a SAM, which is good. Okay, we have a lead and a trailer here. And I'm having trouble keeping him in sight. I'm gonna go for this left one here. And I can't see him at all through the gun sight glass. Have I got him on radar? No, because he's below me. And that's Kabalum Airfield right there. Don't know if I want to get too close to that. There could be some shore-ad down there. Which might be the idea. Alright, target's been hit. Keep him covered. Well, I'll keep him covered by proactively engaging the enemy. Pally F5, I think. And he's IFF'd as hostile. Want to get a little closer to shoot my heater, maybe? Actually, I think that'll do. Push rakiety. Splash F5. Is there anything else around? I'm not sure. Bra 304 for 19 at 3,000. Okay. Well, that's kind of in the direction of our egressing strikers, I think, so that's definitely a priority. Okay, whatever this is, it's jamming me. So that's probably an F4. And I only have my gun left. He's above me. Wingman splashed something. F4 is peeling off to one side. I'll get inside his turn. Ooh. Now, I can definitely outturn an F4. The F5s, it's a bit more of an even contest. But this is just fine. I'm not sure about these vertical maneuvers, though. I think he might have me on thrust-to-weight ratio. Although maybe not this low. Oh, I can't see shit through the gun sight glass. Well, I learned from a previous encounter with Phantoms not to shoot till I know I've got him. So I won't take silly pot shots like that, he says. Alright, unload for speed in this dive. I gotta catch him on this up roll again, otherwise I think he's gonna start to get an advantage. And we have a friendly going after him as well. So between the two of us, we should get him. How's my fuel, by the way? It's okay. And friendly has got the F4. Alright, and he's joining up. We are good. I think we can head home. I had the Kabalum RSBN station on here, and it did indeed work. Hello, F4 pilots. Anyway, I'll punch up Nalchik again, and we'll head home as long as there aren't any additional contacts. Okie doke. Anything? Radar to stand by for now. Anything? Anything at all? 093 for 16. I'm only going to engage if it turns out to be a major threat because I don't have the fuel for another swirling dogfight. But that'll be over this way somewhere? I don't see anything. Free report spiked at 2 o'clock. Yeah, I'll believe that. I still don't see anything though. Ooh. No, that's my number 3 there. Anything? AWACS isn't calling anything, but I'm going to keep my eyes peeled as we egress. Alright, strike package reports fence out, and we should be good to return to base. Okay, 30 clicks out from Nalchik. I have 1,000 liters of fuel left, which isn't too bad. I'm going to contact ATC and start descending in. In fact, I probably left the descent kind of late, so we can make it pretty steep. Because the field is like right down there, so yeah. It can be quite steep indeed. So they're giving us runway 24. Now, I did an overview of the statistics for the mission on the way back, since everything seems to be pretty much seen to now. And the end result was our side down 5 enemy aircraft, 4 planes, and 1 helicopter, bizarrely enough. I down 2, 1 F4 and 1 F5, bringing my campaign total to 11, which historically would make me the top scoring MiG-21 ace. Anyway, we lost 1 MiG-21 whose pilot ejected on the way back. He was one of my wingmen who ran out of fuel, basically riding the afterburner to regain formation, which I really wish DCS AI wingmen wouldn't do that, because it's a persistent problem, but oh well. All in all, it's a pretty good ratio that we managed. I'm going to pop my speed brakes, because I need to get rid of a lot of speed coming into the downwind here. And as we saw from the messages, the SU-24s accomplished their objective and all made it back out. In that respect, the mission was a total success. Alright, leveling off, we should lose speed pretty quickly. Let's come back to 500. APH. And back a little further. I'm used to having to feed in more power just in the vicinity of the field in general, but when we're level in a clean airplane, it doesn't actually take very much to maintain 500, so pretty close to the field. This will be a pretty tight circuit, but that's okay. I will adjust track IR by way of bringing my seat up so I can see a little better. And we have our 700 liter light just coming on now, which is just fine. I'll send my flight home. Actually, I have to go back. Flight, navigation, return to base. Oh. Okay. And back to the ATC frequency. And we lost a bit of speed there because I was communicating instead of aviating. Oh well, caught it in time. But it is, oof. But it is a big deal in the MiG-21 because you can stall so easily in the low speed range when you're around the takeoff or landing time. And we're gonna pretty much just have to make this a rounded base to final because we were so close in on the downwind, but that's okay. Flaps set for takeoff. Or approach, as it were, at this point. The half setting-ish. The middle button, whatever. And once we roll out, I'll adjust power to maintain 350 and hit landing flaps. There's a marker. And there's our landing clearance. Not much further to worry about here. And it's just a matter of keeping my speed at an acceptable range. Getting a little bit low, but we're also pretty close to the field, so I'll just hold about 330 pretty much right down to touchdown, at which point I'll let it drop down to about 300 once we're over the threshold. And onto the runway we go. That was pretty good. Parachute, air brakes. And I'll just get on the brake as necessary to make the first taxiway here. Then we will vacate. Just a little bit of brake needed, I think. Right, taxied parking. What's this thing? Oh, don't look at that. That's a Tor. This is 1981, so that doesn't exist yet. Never mind. Glad we have it, though. That'll keep pretty much anything from getting through to this field. So, flaps up, speed brake in, and unlock the nose gear. Somehow we made that corner with it locked. It's sort of... it doesn't lock it completely. I mean, we're turning with mostly differential braking anyway, so what the nose gear is doing isn't as important. We just skid the tire a little bit. It doesn't really stop us doing anything. Shut the RWR volume off. Put a stop to the infernal beeping now that we're definitely pretty much as safe as we're gonna get anyway in a wartime situation. Get parked up, and I'll shut her down. Come squeaking to a halt. Okay, flaps up, speed brakes in, landing lights off, throttles to idle. Throttle to idle, that is. Circuit breakers off. Including the gyros, I think. Yeah, at that point we can shut down the engine, open the lid, shut off the fuel pumps and generators, shut off the flight recorder, shut off the fire extinguisher and APU stroke starter motor. Nav lights are off, inverters and battery heat, and finally the battery can go off. And that's a shutdown. And that is the end to a fairly successful mission, all things considered. I'll be back with the next one reasonably soon. And that's going to be about it. Toodles.